Gamers! What's up? Hello, everyone. Welcome on in, Otis and Earthly. Thank you for pulling the fuck on up. How are you two today? Oh my goodness. Remember when I was like, I'm gonna stream this whole development process? I got a little excited, and I might have done a little bit of work off stream. Only a little, I swear, I promise. I promise, you guys didn't miss anything too crazy. Show us? Fuck it, we ball. Fuck it, we ball. So, here we are. Let me lower this. Here we are. The doubled volume. Yeah. So what I did since the last stream is I added a little bit of art. Some pretty rudimentary shit. We've got like a guy blowing through a fairy ring here, so it amplifies his fire. Sections that weren't touched, still not touched. I did some art of the Urchin moon, so this is what the moon looks like. Very threatening, big old cannon pointed right at us. I want, before I send out like a playable version to the public, I want there to be art for key locations and creatures. So here's a Nimmelin communicating with sign language. So these are one of the playable races. And I want art for each of these guys, because I put a lot of work and thought into them. Oh, what a beautiful eclipse! And then the moon fucking shoots me dead. What's up, Para and Skunky? How are you two? So we've got art of a Nimmelin using sign language to communicate. We have the Stobans, which are these, like, carnivorous people who have, like, antlers, and when it gets cold, they get big tufts of hair around their necks and their hands and their feet, like little snowshoes going on. And then we have the Zegan, who are basically, like, flying, kickboxing jungle hobbits. They have these 4 little cones on their back and 2 on their heads, and these are Vitaic jets, so they can shoot magic out of these to propel themselves. So they're like high-flying little combat motherfuckers, and they like to keep their heads shaved regardless of gender, because they like to do like war paint, so they'll paint their entire scalp to look like a screaming monster when viewed from above, because they're so tiny. And they'll also tattoo ley lines onto their bodies so they can, like, channel magic super fucking hard. Old Worlders and Shyosha I haven't done art for. We do have, in a separate document here, a rudimentary class list, so we can talk about the classes that we have, and the mono-elemental playstyle. So something that has been kind of a core part of the design philosophy here. Is that there are 8 elements. Actually, hold on. Let me grab, the mock-up of, like, the very first draft of the character sheet I made. So you can take a look at this. Open original. There we go. Yeah, zoom out. You see fire. So, let's kind of talk about this very first draft. You've got your fucking... You can't see my mouse, but... You've got the very basic... Let me, like, make sure that this captures my cursor, actually. Capture the cursor, please. Hello? I broke it. I fixed it! Let's go! Now you can see my cursor. So we've got, like, the fucking basic stats. I'll figure that out later. Character portrait, whatever, doesn't actually... particularly matter. What else? Health, XP, whatever. Here's something I want to talk about. Armor class is going to be directional. So, different attacks will come from the front, from behind, from above, or for below. So, this would be the case of, like, someone using a quicksand spell beneath your feet, or some sort of gravity attack might come from above. And different races might have different like, starting ACs. So, like, in the case of the Nimmelins, they'll be weaker from the back because they have wings. Or in the case of an Old Worlder, they're weaker from beneath because they're big, heavy metal guys who can't really jump away from quicksand. Something else is these here are your spell slots. So this is just kind of a mock-up. The inner number represents the maximum amount. So this character could hold up to 3 water spell slots, and you would fill that in. Is there a system of stuff like saving throws? I mean, what I'm kind of thinking is to avoid an attack, it would just be, like, roll from beneath plus stride. Like, just raw plus, you know, stride or something like that. Hydretch, I big sippin'. It's definitely something that I'm gonna play test to make sure is fun. Because right now we're in the fuck it we ball phase. You know, I'm just making shit up, and we will see what works. That's pretty much all I can say for now. So each of these spell slots, I'm thinking maybe it'll go up to 5 maximum, but a level 1 character will start with 3 spell slots of 1 element. And as you level up, you can allocate spell slots either further into your element to increase the maximum, or go for a multi-elemental playstyle. So each of these elements, kind of think of it like the different card colors in Magic the Gathering or Digimon, in that each one kind of lends itself to a different playstyle. So if we go here to class list, Fire is going to be focused on AoE and splash damage, a lot of crowd control, but I'm going to give it a couple of tools for some buffs, some debuffs, maybe 1 status effect. But it's going to be a pretty focused, like, AoE raw damage one. Water is going to be another AoE-focused one, but it's going to be a lot more focused on applying debuffs and status effects, particularly, like, soaking opponents to weigh them down so they have a harder time dodging. Air, on the flip side, is raw, just boom, boom, boom. Mostly single-target attacks. And again, we're literally about to make the spell list. We're literally about to. I've just kind of planned out, like, how I want to approach each of these. But Air is going to focus on a lot of, like, personal utility. So mobility skills, you know, get behind the opponent. Earth is going to be also a lot of single-target stuff, but it's going to be more focused on debuffs and, like, a little bit of a support lean. Light is going to be pretty pure healing and support, but it's going to have a little bit of single-target damage tools. Dark is going to be pure, like, support in the debuffing and, like, enemy mobility way. So it's going to be a lot of position manipulation with gravity spells. A couple of AoE tools, but, like, debuffing, blinding, causing illusions. And then we have Raid and Rot. So for those of you who missed the last stream, Raid and Rot are the last 2 elements, and they're kind of conceptual ones that emerge when we channel things manually. They come from our minds themselves, as opposed to nature. So Raid kind of represents the positive force of technology, and Rot represents the negative. So Raid can show up as, like, enhanced cognition, or lightning bolts, whereas Rot would be, like, poisons and curses and decay. So naturally, these are both going to be very status-focused ones as well. So Raid is going to be, like, the dedicated buffer one, and it's going to have, like, bouncing attacks. So it's going to be the only one with bouncing attacks, and that'll be its main damage dealing tool, is, like, chain lightning for crowds, is kind of what I'm thinking. And then Rot is going to be kind of the inverse of pure, just debuff damage over time, fuck you, in particular. So, when you build your character, not only will you choose which element you want to start as, but you will also choose which race you play as, which will each come with their own singular unique action, and what class you want to be, which will come with 1 to 2 passive traits and 1 to 2 active skills. And here are their roles. So we can talk about the race bonuses first. Oh, and I should really say here, all of this is subject to change. You know, when it comes to playtesting and when we... I don't know why we say we, because it's really just me working on this. And, you know, pestering my friends to give me feedback. When this is ready to release, I'm sure things are going to be overpowered. It's going to be a question of whether things are so stupidly overpowered that I'll have to nerf it. But everything is going to be subject to change here, I think. Fnoogie, thank you. Thank you for the fucking 8 months with the Prime sub. Can we get some fucking boogies in the chat? Can we fucking make some noise for Fnoogie? Thank you, bud. How the fuck are you? I don't know if you heard, I'm working on a tabletop game. So I'm talking about, like, the design philosophy and some updates I made on the combat system. And then we're gonna slap together a little, fucking, spell list. So humans. They're basically humans. They're kind of all-rounders. You know, +1 into whatever the fuck you want. They don't get anything special in combat. But they'll be a lot better out of combat because they're so common that they'll get a bonus on every social check. Yeah, I can go back and go over some of the other stuff. The Stobin, they're kind of gonna have a wit and charm bonus, and they are going to have good defense from above. I mentioned this before you arrived, Noogie, but we're gonna have directional armor class of from the front, from the back, from above, and from below, because this is going to be very spellcaster focused. So a lot of the saving throws will basically just be like low attack AC plus stance, maybe, if you wanted to block, you know, like a spire that shoots out of the earth, or stride if it were to get out of quicksand. So it'll depend spell to spell. It's going to be its own thing. No, this is its own beast. So one thing I mentioned also is each element has its own spell slots. Something you can do is group channeling, which is if you are adjacent to an ally, including diagonals, you can borrow their spell slots. So you can, like, coordinate to cast a spell that either of you know. So that's how you can get out the high-cost spells that cost multiple spell slots. In order to replenish spell slots, because you are going to be running out every 3 to 5 turns, depending on how you're playing, although in the early game you could probably blow them all in a single turn, you need to spend a turn channeling, which is to stand there and focus. And while doing that, you will be vulnerable to any attacks that you might receive. There will be either some sort of penalty, or just attacks will hit you. That needs to get fleshed out a little bit more, but I wanted to work on the spell list. So before you arrived, Fnoogie, I was talking about how can you empower spells this way? By, like, using multiple spell slots? Yes. Yeah, you can have them do additional damage. The better ones are just gonna be, like, fucking crazy from the get-go, though. It's not gonna be balanced. Everything's just gonna have temporary values. Like, what I could do is just say, temp value, temp value, temp value. And then I'll just put in the numbers later, so I don't actually have to fucking think about it on stream. But I would like to make about 8 to 10 spells per element for mono element, because, as mentioned, we have this playstyle figured out. So first and foremost, let's do air. Air is going to be a nice single target skill. So this cost will be air 1. Center that for me, please. Hold on. Oop, there we go. Air 1, and this will be half. So I should explain strike. That is how much of a turn it takes up. So you get, each turn a player gets a movement phase, where they can move, and then a strike phase, which must happen after the move phase. Werewolf Rampage, thank you for the follow. Welcome the fuck on in. Good to have you on board. So a full strike will take your entire striking phase, and a half strike will take half. There will also be free actions that you can do fucking whenever. So with air, we're gonna have a lot of positioning tools. So this one will be, hold on. I should actually specify range. Oh my god, I forgot about range. What's up, demo? How the fuck are you? Range. Boop. And then let's put these bad boys in like that. And boop. Let's move shape on over. Alright, range. Melee. It's gonna have a melee range. You know, I could just say 1. It has a range of 1. 1 tile away from you in any direction, including diagonals. And this is going to be one of those position tools. So this project is good. I've worked on it for like 2 days, and we've got a pretty good amount of stuff. And I wanted to spend today just putting together like a list of spells, because I want to get the combat system out of the way before I continue with world building. I just wanted to talk about like major locations, playable races, and now we got the race skills out. We got, oh god, oh I forgot to tell you guys about the fucking classes. There's some weird shit in here. Hold on. Okay. So first and foremost, we have the post knights. Yes, yeah, that was a bug race. So these are the Nimhill, which are like giant 8-foot-tall dung beetles. And they can pretty much communicate with like bursts of pheromones, and also sign language. But a lot of them will learn soul speak in order to like channel their thoughts directly into people. Just because when it comes to communicating with other races, most people can't do sign language that requires you to gesture with your antenna, you know? They're fucking dope. There's also, like, carnivorous antlered people who have, like, retractable claws and shit. And then flying kung fu hobbits. And then also humans. Oh, God, and also giant robots from, like, an ancient civilization. Thank you. So, okay, so let's talk about the classes. First up is the Post Knight, and this is like a dedicated range DPS. So these guys are like package delivery people. They're your Amazon delivery guy. But the thing is that the roads in this world are so fucking dangerous that they're basically armed like a fucking SWAT team. So they'll be just going around in like bodysuits with guns. So they're very focused on like point defense. So they're something aim projectile, whatever. But their main class action here is the spell shot, which is that they're able to fire spells out of their weapon, which extends their range to match their weapon. This costs an extra spell slot to do, but this allows them to perform melee spells with bullets. With a fucking cannon, straight up. We've got the Brawler, which I want to change to the Star Chaser, because Brawler is a stupid generic name, and Star Chaser's a lot more scene accurate. Do I know what they do? No, not yet. But they are going to be rushdown melee DPS playstyle. Conduit is going to be a like spellcasting support class, so they can directly donate spell slots to an ally at a range. These are dedicated. I'm standing in the back channeling my shit into you guys, so you guys can stay on the offensive. We've got Doctor, which is a healing support. So they're going to be using like light armor and binding weapons. So that's something with a little bit of reach, like a whip or a blanket, something that you can use to, you know, kind of bind people in place. It needs work. But I think once I have like the spells figured out a little bit more, I can kind of go a little bit harder in on the specifics of the weapons, and then I can add more spells and tweak the ones that already exist to match like the kinds of weapons we have. Their whole thing is being able to heal without any spell slots. They are the emergency healer. You know, technically anyone who specs into light or raid or rot will have access to healing spells, and all sorts of 2-element combos will have support tools. But Doctor is dedicated healer. Now we're getting to the weird one. So this one is Ringmaster, which is a ranged tank. So they use a ring brace, which if you look in here in the document where we talk about the magic system, rings are basically like one-way tunnels for magic. So these guys are basically wearing a bracelet of rings and fucking throwing them around on the battlefield. So you can place ring, which is you can toss a directional ring on a tile adjacent to any ally that can reduce damage from an incoming direction, and in the opposite direction, extends their range. Can cast a spell that costs half strike or less. Yeah, though Brawler's probably going to have something that rewards, because something that every class will be able to do is they will be able to enhance weapon attacks with spell slots in order to enhance the strength of it. And I think Star Chaser, which is Brawler, is going to lean into that. But I want to, like, figure out what values are what before I write anything down. Like, is it... How much more are you doing per spell slot? How many... How much strike does it take out? I don't know. Sobbing. I don't know. Sobbing. But yeah, Ringmaster is going to be kind of sitting in the back and doing damage mitigation on other party members. But they will have to manually recall these rings in order to place them back again. How many rings will they be able to have in play at once? We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. I'm thinking 3. But that's just a thing we'll have to playtest. Vanguard. This is the dedicated melee tank. They have shield proficiency. They're the only one with shield proficiency by default. Cover, they can take a hit for an adjacent ally. Boom. Passive, they can channel without taking an AC penalty. So they can, without having to disengage, focus on getting their spell slots back. And then we have perhaps my personal favorite. I think I would try playing this one. The Locksmith, which is a different one that interacts with the magic system, which is these guys who basically create locks to trap bundles of magic in one location. So they focus on thrown weapons, and I don't know, I'll rework the traits, but I want their playstyle to be focused on items and like stage hazards. So they'll be able to place a landmine that they imbue with spells that, you know, if you can get an enemy to step on it, it will not miss. As well as flasks, where that is a thrown weapon that can be handed to another party member. You know, or an NPC or something. Or things that you can prepare in advance. So Locksmith is going to be pretty wacky. And then I mentioned this earlier, but another thing is this is going to be super focused on team play and actually communicating with your party members, because so many things require different specific kinds of spell slots. But again, when adjacent to a willing ally, you can borrow their spell slots to cast spells. So with all that said, what kind of builds are possible here? At least in theory, right? You could do a Dark Earth locksmith that focuses on setting landmines and then using fucking gravity bombs to pull enemies into a specific location, so they're guaranteed to take crazy damage. You know, you could have a, like, light raid ringmaster who just stays in the back and is just dedicated support. Or you could have them, you know, swapping between that and, like, some sort of ranged spellcaster. You could play a Stobin who is like a berserker that rushes down their opponents and, you know, gores them on their horns and then enhances that with poison magic to inflict status effects. So, needless to say, I look forward to getting this into everyone's hands. Immensely. And with all that said, we are going to get to work on the spell system. You guys are more than welcome to suggest some spells. Shape. Let's just do dash dash to say that there's no shape, it's just one. A 1. Okay, so air 1. This is going to be flash step. So this will be a positional tool. And I'm going to try to focus one element at a time because each element has a specific design philosophy. And I want to get that out of the way without whatever. So, okay. When in melee range of a target, what does shape relate to? Cone, like 2x2 cube, shit like that. Like, for AoE spells, what shape is it? How do you start designing a game when there's so much to do to get started? That is a fantastic question, actually. So, the thing to understand about design is that it is an iterative process. Whatever you make the first time will not work. So, my main advice, and let's use, like, board games as an example, instead of, a video game, because that requires programming knowledge, right? What you do is you can just start by writing the rules. What are the rules of the game? You know? How does one come up with them? I can do my best to answer that I think that for me, I think about just what I would want to do as a player. You know, trying to put yourself in the player's shoes is very, very important. But, like, in this case, I just kind of started off writing, like, a little lore bible, because I wanted to, like, get some writing out there. And then I was like, fuck it, I'm a game dev. And I've just kind of been winging it since. But I have enough experience that I kind of just know what order I can make things in conveniently. So for me, I started with the contextualization and the world, and I am designing mechanics first and foremost to match that, and then my second priority is to rework them and balance them to be fun and fair. That is a thing that is not an exact science, though. That's a thing that you'll kind of have to just fuck around and find out. That's genuinely what a lot of it boils down to, is just make something and figure out what works and doesn't. The targeting. Okay, when in melee range of a target, use this skill to teleport behind them to the other side of them, regardless of enemy size. There we go, flash step. Strike half. I could make it free since it costs a spell slot, and, yeah. I could make it free. One spell slot just to get behind someone is, like, I think that's fine. And if it isn't, oh no, sobbing. But, I mean, it's a difference in, like, maybe, like, 4 AC. You know, in the grand scheme of things. Caster can select which direction to face after performing. There we go. When in melee range of a target, bada boom, flashed out. And actually, for all of these, I want to center. There we go. So they're right in the middle. So we've got some positional tools. And let's do whirlwind. Another. No, this one will have a range of, let's say, 5. And shape will be 1 by 1. 1 by 1 tile. Center all of these, please. I like my shit centered. 1 by 1 tile. And this can be a half action, a half strike. And it'll cost air 1, it'll be nice and cheap. And this will be select an ally to target. Rotate that ally to face in any direction. Here we go. Caster can spend 1 additional spell slot to remove prone, which is a status effect that we'll be talking about. Prone, just because I haven't made like a hard list of status effects yet. I probably should. Prone is going to be, you knock them down. But the way that I'm going to be handling prone is it will add a damage or accuracy increase. I'm not sure. We'll figure it out when we get there. Some sort of bonus to a follow-up attack that comes from a different direction. So this combat system is basically going to be very focused on you and your homies getting together, surrounding a motherfucker, and curb stomping them from different directions. It's going to be pretty brutal. So we have some positional tools. We can do another. Let's do one that's air 2, and that not able to rotate enemy with that. You know what? That's a good idea. Select a unit to target. Rotate that unit. 90 degrees in either direction. In either direction, additional spell slots can be spent to rotate another 90 degrees. I should say an additional. An additional spell slot can be spent to rotate another 90 degrees. There we go. Air 2. This will be something that the Zegan will not need to use, because Zegan have this thing called back jets, which is they are able to extend their movement range beyond the normal limits during movement phase. Each additional tile costs 1 spell slot of any element. So they basically, since this is a very specific one, let's do, range is self, extend movement by 3 tiles for 1 turn. Just because this requires a very specific kind of spell slots, I think. Hello, Tome. How the fuck are you, bud? Let me get a big old shout out for you. We're making a spell list. And this one we'll call Fleetfoot. There we go. And the strike will be free. It'll be a free strike. Extend movement by 3 tiles for 1 turn. Just because, again, at level 1, you get 3 spell slots. And then you have to spend a whole turn channeling. If you wanted to do this into an enhanced weapon strike, that's going to take every single spell slot you have. The deving is going pretty solid. I'm kind of just, like, fucking winging it. Figuring it out. So let's take a look at the design philosophy here. Air is mobility skills, buffs, and single target attacks. It can have some AoE, but it's going to be very expensive. It's going to cost 3 spell slots, which is the most any spell will cost. Will be 3 of a single element. And maybe, like, the really crazy, like, later spells. Because right now, I only want to design for, like early game. Like, level 1, level 3, level 5 combat is kind of what I'm focused on, if we were to think, like, D&D terms here. Wind should also move people around. We're capping at 3 per spell for now. Just because... Like... Yeah. Yeah, the answer is yes. And if I'm wrong, I'll change it. You know, it's just that easy. But this one will be a vortex. So that will be a 3x3 square. Range. So the range will refer to the center of the spell. And we'll give it a range of... Let's make it like 4. No, let's make it like 5. Because if movement is 3, I feel like range of 5 is fine. I think. Now let's do 3. They should be within... But if it was to place the center... See, like... I don't know. we'll do 2x2 square so I feel less bad about giving it a shit range. Let's give it like 4. That way... Yeah. Okay. And this will cost a full strike also. Full. You know, all targets within this spell must roll, for, what would a wind attack be? I think low range is pretty reasonable, too. Yeah, wind is not gonna be, like, a super... Get a little lower. Hold on, wait. Volume mixer. There we go. Boop. All targets within this spell must roll for... I guess this would be an attack from above, because it's wind. Above plus... stance. Because this would be to hold your ground and not get blown away, as opposed to actual value. So, above plus stance. Well, I'll fucking figure out a value later. I'll figure out a value later. Must roll. D20. Any rolls to hit will be with D20s. I know that much I want to be the case. For above plus stance. If this roll is failed, take value damage. Do I have the basic combat system made? Not really. I have a loose outline of it. I haven't written up the exact details yet, but what I know is each turn for a character will be composed of a moving phase where you can move, you know, X amount of tiles. Hello, August. And then a striking phase where you get 1 full strike and then your turn ends as soon as you're done striking. So some will be free, some will take half a strike, and some will take a full strike, which will just kind of end your turn, and that's all you can perform. You can do something with wind affecting ranged attacks. Ooh. Mm-hmm. Super limited, yeah. But the main thing is wind affecting ranged attacks. Oh, like to enhance someone's range. Yeah, that could be like an Air 2 skill, honestly. Is like buff an ally to extend their range. The thing is, that's literally like Ringmaster's whole fucking thing, is extending people's range in one direction and giving them damage reduction in the other. So I am hesitant to give Wind a tool that, like, invalidates an entire class without making it, expensive as fuck. You know? We'll call this one Maelstrom. I can rename it later. You wouldn't if it invalidates a class. No, so the design philosophy here is I'm okay with there being multiple ways to achieve a similar outcome. You know, because you are getting combat tools based on the element you pick, what spells from that element your character actually fucking learns, the race that you're playing as, and their unique skills, such as, you know, the Zegan who can spend a spell slot to extend their movement range. And then the class actions, which are like unique things like protecting an ally or placing landmines or shit like that. And I know I'm gonna have to balance these. They're gonna be so stupid OP. But I'm not worried about balance right now. I just want to get things that work. I don't think it will not do the exact same thing as the class, because it will cost a resource, right? By playing the class, you get that as an innate action to yourself. Let's do Wind Cutter. And this one is half. Range. Let's make it 3. 1 by 1. Three tile line. This one's mostly, or we could do 1 by 1 tile, because I wanna get more single targets. So this will be an actual damage one. Let's see. I'm trying to think about the language on enhanced weapon strikes, because I want weapons to be a big part of this combat system. How do I want to handle that? I might just add like text. Can be performed as a free strike if used after a weapon skill. Let's see. Okay. Select a unit to target. This unit must roll for front back plus, what would it be to dodge here? I guess in the case of wind, they'd really just be rolling like a lot of stance. Although in the case of like a cutter, you could do stride. We'll do stance. Like fuck it, whatever. I don't care. We'll figure it out later. This unit must roll for actually select a unit to target from attack in the direction facing. Here we go. Roll to attack in the faced direction. I should specify that. In the faced direction. So you're rolling against their AC. Because, like, just figuring out the exact language and wording early on. Select a unit to target, roll to attack against the faced direction. On hit, deal value damage. Can be used as a free strike if performed after a weapon strike. There we go. Although Wind Cutter could totally just be like melee instead, and then have like Wind Jet be something else. Yeah, let's do that. So it'll have a range of 1, and then we'll have Wind Jet. That'll cost air 1. Half Strike 1. Nope, 3. 1x1 tile. Select a unit to target. Roll to attack against the faced direction. On hit, and we'll get rid of the can be used as a free strike. So this one will deal probably less damage or fucking something. I'll figure it out. Playtesting. This is why it exists. How many more Air 1 skills do we want to think about? What could some full actions be? Updraft. Air 1, and this will have a range of 5, and we'll make it a half action. Shape will be 1x1. Select an ally to target. Remove prone, soaked. Remove prone and soaked from this target. You're blow drying them. So different elements will get different tools to deal with specific status effects, and then the dedicated support elements will get tools to deal with all of them, is kind of what I'm thinking. And if that sucks, I'll change it. I'll change it. Easy. Let's see. What do I want to do here? Oh, I have one. You, like, fucking palm them in the chest and, like, knock them back. So let's do, like, Hurricane Palm or something like that. And we'll make it cost, like, Air 2 and be a full strike with a range of 1 in a 1x1 space. Target an adjacent enemy. Enemy must roll in the faced direction plus stance. If failed, take value, damage, and get regardless of roll outcome, knock target back 3 tiles. There we go. So that's going to be another, like, positional tool. You know, get the fuck back. Let's see. What else? I want maybe, like, 2 or 3 more air ones. Or 2 or 3 more air spells, and then we can move on. Some utility stuff, maybe, like whispering across long distance. Like a little cantrip, that would be really funny. Voices carry. Air 1, free action. Range of 10. Shape. Infinite. Let's do shapeless. Select any amount of allied or hostile units within range. Carry a sound along the wind to all selected targets. Right? That one's totally a free action. It uses... It has no raw combat, potential, right? This is something that you can use if you wanted to communicate in roleplay, or if you wanted to, I could also do, like, infinite range. Like, fuck it. I don't care. It's, like, not gonna be overpowered. I beat the final boss by whispering to him from across the fucking field. From across the dungeon, you know? Oh! I mean this. I cannot express how excited I am to get this into people's hands. I am so looking forward to people doing stupid-ass fucking strategies that are stupid overpowered, right? And the thing is, right, the thing is, I don't want to nerf things. I don't want to. I want people to be able to make goofy-ass combos because that shit is fun. That shit is fun. Goring someone on my poisoned antlers is awesome. Or, you know, playing as a human, like, face character who's fully spec'd into social stats. And then just using voices carry to fucking shut down every fight before it even starts. We come in peace! We come in peace! You know, a mile away from the place we're approaching. Don't attack those guys! It would be fucked up. This is your deity speaking. Don't do it! Roll for deception. Let's see, what are some other, like, free skills we could do? A Dust Cloud ability, lower to hit. Dust Cloud, I'm thinking, could be like a dual element of like 1 air, 1 earth. Because a lot of really unique things, like really weird things that will totally change your kit, are going to be locked behind like 2 elements and 2 element playstyle. Absolutely we need to play this with the gremlins. Oh my god, it's gonna be so fucked. It's gonna be so stupid. I love it. I do like that, though. Let's say, Trade Winds, and that will be, like, a support skill that is, Air 3, and costs maybe, like, a full action? God, no, that's really expensive. Let's make it a half action, a half strike, just so you can get some combat in there, or do a class action, right? But this will be a range of, let's say, 5, 1 by 1. Select an ally to protect with a barrier of wind. Any incoming ranged attacks to this target will take a -5 penalty when rolling to hit. For 3 turns. There we go. That's a good buff. Expensive, but huge. Very, very big. So yeah, if you were like an air ringmaster, your damage reduction is kind of stupid, actually. Because you would just have like the rings out to fucking like mitigate incoming damage. You'd have Trade Winds up on the tank. You know, or Trade Winds up on yourself so you don't go down. Stupid shit. I think Air 3 is a good price for this. And half action gives enough time to move. Let's see. So let's sort by cost real quick. Boop. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Air 1 spells. 2 Air 2s, 2 Air 3s. I would like at least 8 1 tier of each element. When rolling to hit, not to deal damage. Hold on. To confirm a hit. There we go, for the next 3 turns. We can take a break from air. Fuck air. No more breathing! Whoa! I mean, we have 10 air spells total. And a level 1 character is going to start with probably, like 3 of these, plus their class actions, plus their weapon. And then at, like, pretty much each level up, or every other level up, you get 1 more spell slot. I'll figure it out. Take a shot every time I say, I'll figure it out. You'll fucking die. But that's how it works. That's just game dev. We'll figure it out. Alright, what element do I want to do next? A combo spell should be to suffocate someone. Yes. Dark plus air is actually to create, like, a vacuum and literally take air out of their lungs. Because dark is gravity, so you're just sucking the air out of the room. And suffocation will probably be a status effect that you can find with water and air and dark. It'll kind of be not tied to a specific element. And it'll probably be like damage over time until removed. Or potentially, like, just incapacitates. We'll see, though. Alright, what element do I want to do next? Dark. Dark is fun. Dark is going to be a really fun playstyle. Okay. Dark 1. Dark 1, Dark 1, Dark 1, Dark 1, Dark 2, Dark 2, Dark 3. Dark 3. Okay. Dark 1. First and foremost, Dark is going to have some cheap AoE attacking skills. So, let's see. What is the philosophy for Dark? Here we go. Oh, you mean the design philosophy, Lamau. The design philosophy is debuffing AoE attacks and position manipulation skills of enemies, specifically. So air is position, like, mobility skills for allies. Dark is kind of the flip side of fuck up your enemy's ability to move around, because it has a lot of, like, gravity skills. So here we go. Manifest in the conjuration of a deep darkness that can obscure the senses and pull other objects in towards itself. When channeled alone, it is often used for gravity and force manipulation, but can be easily combined with a multitude of other elements to control magnets and metals. Okay. Oh god, yeah, Dark Earth, you can just do, like, magnet skills to fucking, like, disarm someone. Take off their armor, fuck you. Let's see. Dark 2, Dark 3. Let's not, like, decide the costs in advance. Let's just kind of figure it out. So first and foremost, pin down heavily armored people to the ground. Yes! Yeah, so let's do, like, gravity well. 4x4 square, and it will have a range of 6. It's gonna have, like, a pretty long range, and this will cost Dark 2. Dark 2. Alright, and the strike is, it will cost a full turn to do. And the effect is, all enemies, alright, all targets within this spell must roll a d20 for, well, what direction would a gravitational attack come from? I guess below, because your legs have to hold you upright. You know? Either that or above, because above attacks would kind of crush you downward. A lot of below attacks are going to be showing up with water and earth, specifically. And a couple with rot. And all targets within the spell must roll a d20 for above, plus... What stats do we have here? Stance, power. Let's do power. That's literally what this one is going to be. Is pulls everything towards the center. Yeah, that's literally what this is. 5x5 is fine. If it was 5x5, I'd make it probably larger. All targets within this spell must roll a d20 for above plus power. If failed, take value damage. Oh, I should specify elements also, huh? Hold on. Wind damage. Right about now, it's time to rock with the biggity buck bumble. Right about now, it's time to rock. What's up, Psylime? How the fuck are you? Take value wind damage. Deal value. Wind or weapon damage. I could probably specify. You know, wind or weapon. So we can have, like, bludgeoning cutting still. Oh, wait, no. Hold on. This one is wind or weapon. Wind or weapon. What the fuck is up, Kay? How are you? Yeah, we're making a little spell list. And everyone in chat is free to weigh in, because I need to come up with a lot. But we have a specific design philosophy for each. So Dark is focused on debuffing enemies, AoE attacks, and position manipulation skills. Lethargy, reduce enemy movement and power. Ooh. Okay. Reduce enemy movement power. I like that. Lethargy. That could also, if we contextualize it as lethargy, that would be under rot. Do you have an elevator pitch of the first game idea? It is a tabletop RPG that focuses on this very, like, modular character building process. Shut the fuck up, music. So loud. It focuses on a very modular process as well as coordinated teamwork to execute directional attacks. Yo, what the fuck is up, Jay? So in the case of, like I'll talk about the core combat system here. There is directional armor class. So you have a different value when blocking an attack from the front, or from behind, or from above, or from below. That message was highlighted. Additionally, you have different spell slots for each element of magic. So you'll kind of pick 1 to 3 elements to spec your character into. And each of them will have kind of a unique playstyle. Think like Magic the Gathering, right? So each element has its own unique design philosophy. So, like, air focuses on giving you single target attacks, mobility skills, and, like, party buffs. Whereas Dark is kind of the inverse of debuffing targets, AoE attacks, and manipulating people's position. Rot is going to be status infliction, damage over time, healing, and debuffs. Light is, like, pure healer with some ranged damage and a little bit of buffing. Earth and water are going to be, like, debuffs. But we're kind of just going one element at a time and just coming up with some spells. Lethargy. I just had an idea for one. Fuck, I don't know what to call it. But it will cost Dark 2, and it will be a half action with a range of 5 in a 1x1 tile. I can probably just specify 1x1 instead of saying tile. 1x1, 1x1. Okay, 1x1. Select any target, friend or foe. Use a focused gravitational force to pull that target directly to the caster's side. In a straight line directly to the caster's side. if any walls or other units block this path, the target takes a defense debuff or flee spell, Horrifying Vision. Ooh. Target takes value damage. This one's so positionally focused, I'm okay with it being a guaranteed hit. Especially when it costs 2 spell slots to cast. Horrifying Vision. Oh yeah, we could do, like, Dark Illusion ones, or, like, Blinding someone. So, Blinding Haze. And let's make that Dark too. There's gonna be a lot of, like, expensive ones, just because these debuffs are gonna be that fucking gnarly. Could deal damage based on space move. It could. I want to keep it simple for now. But right now, it only is going to deal damage to a target if they crash into something. Right now, this is rescue an ally for danger, or pull an enemy right into it. Blinding Haze. We'll make this maybe like a full turn. And it will be a range of, let's do like 3x3 square. Okay. All targets within this spell must roll a d20 for forward plus wit. If this roll is failed, take all rolls to hit take a -5 penalty to hit for the next 3 turns. So this is similar to like trade winds, right? But you're applying it to the enemy instead. It costs less, but it takes a full turn to perform. Planning, I don't have a particularly hard time with. What is this music? Dundorma theme? Bars. Love it. We need some Dark 1 magic in here. Let's do Dark 1 Lethargy, or let's call it Heavy Feet. Make it a half action. Whoa! Oh my god! What the fuck? Holy shit, shit. Rika, thank you so fucking much for the raid. Welcome on in, everyone. My name is Rocco Farend. I will be your host for this evening. Let's fucking boogie. Rika, how was your stream? Thank you so fucking much. Anime cafes, let's fucking go. That is dope. I am doing a game dev stream. I'm actually working on a tabletop RPG, and I'm happy to show you all what we have so far. Welcome. I'm so into FF14. Speaks actually messaged me when you got to Griffin on the wall. I am post Stormblood. I am loving it. Let me actually type in chat my character name and server. I'm Rocco Farmland on Marlboro. We need to add each other. I've been really into, like, the fucking crazy-ass mechanics, right? What class do you play? I think... There's no think. I main Paladin and White Mage, because I guess I'm just... I'm just a little healer guy. But yeah, so I am making a spell list. Which would I guess? I feel like you would be a ranged DPS or spellcaster. Did I back out of playing Sage? I literally tried Sage once and went, fuck that. Yeah, you bet your bottom dollar I did. Sage is so complicated. I am working on all of this. Oh, Bard's what I started as. That's dope. See, I fucking called it. So I have like fucking 20 pages of this. We've got rudimentary class list with what the classes do, the design philosophy for each element, and I'm just making a spell list now. And this is a game that I'm working on called Urchin's Fall. It is a lot of work, but it's fun and I love doing it. So you guys are more than welcome to help me come up with potential spells. Here's the core design philosophy. So think of each different element like the colors in Magic the Gathering or the Digimon card game, where each element has a unique playstyle. So Dark is focused on debuffing, AoE attacks, and position manipulation skills. It's a lot of like obscuring with shadows and like gravity to pull people in. So we're just making like a list of dark spells. We already did the air ones, which is focused on like single target damage, party buffing, and like mobility skills. I do want to play Machinist more. I think I'm like classed out. Select any target, friend or foe uses a gravitational force to pull that target in a straight line directly to the caster's side. If any walls or other units block this path, the target takes value damage. I don't know what to call this. I don't know. Hide and limps at 24/7. I do like my fishing. I just hit level 70 fishing. Heavy feet will have a range of 5, 1 by 1. Select an enemy unit. Reduce their movement range by 1 for their next turn. To cast a light gravitational spell on. Reduce their movement range by 1 for their next turn. There we go. Oh, we could do a 0 gravity one. 0 gravity field. And we could make that a 2x2 square with a range of 5. And we'll give it a cost of 1, but make it a full action. All targets within this spell must roll a d20 for, what would 0 gravity do? I guess you would have to prepare from below to grab onto something. So for below plus power, because you're grabbing onto something. If failed, this target is lifted high and made weightless. This target will be marked as prone for the next incoming attack. Prone from all directions. Would I try to make this a game in tabletop sim? Fuck no. Fuck no. First and foremost, making the game to begin with is a shit ton of work, right? Because I'm doing writing and balancing and testing and art and, you know, collecting feedback, right? I don't like using tabletop sim that much to begin with. And I don't want to have to learn how to develop the shit for it. Frankly. If someone else wants to, power to them, right? But especially since, like, I've heard tale of tabletop sim being not awesome, that if you discuss so much as, like, being trans in public matches, you can get banned for, you know, like, inappropriate discussion, which I don't think trans people existing is inappropriate. So I don't really want to support them, you know? Maybe they've changed, but I'll stick with what I've heard, at least. Alright, we need some more Dark 1 spells. Zero Gravity Field, Pulse Sphere. Dark 1, and this will be a half action. Is this devs or community members? I don't know. I don't know. I'm talking about something that I heard almost a full year ago. So, I would Google before repeating what I've said. But, I don't know. Half. This'll just be like a single target damage dealing one. So 1 by 1, and we'll give it a range of like 4. Alright, Whoa! Oh my god, another fucking raid? What the fuck? Athena, thank you so fucking much for the raid. Welcome the fuck on in, everyone. My name is Rocco Farin. I'm a silly, wacky armadillo VTuber. I will be your host for this evening. Right now, I'm doing silly, wacky, crazy game developer shit. Oh my god. So I'm working on making a spell list for this tabletop game that I'm working on. But we've got some new people. I think it's time we fucking party. How was your fucking stream, everyone? So that should for any first times here, that should communicate the vibe pretty pretty accurately. But yeah, I'm just kind of grooving. I'm putting together a spell list, at least partial, you know. We've been going for about an hour, and we've got enough spells to definitely start with air, and we're probably like halfway to 2/3 of the way done with dark. Maybe I would like some more dark 1s and at least 1 dark 3. But Pulse Sphere will be like a light single target. So, roll to hit an enemy in the faced direction. If successful, deal value dark damage. And then this one will just be blunt damage, because they fucking blunt or dark damage. Alright, this one will be, vacuum pull, or some shit like that. I can just fucking rename it all later. You have to head off. Yeah, oh my god, yeah, it's like fucking late as shit for you. I hope you had fun with Resident Evil Village and you're able to sleep soundly after all the spookiness, the scariness. Dark 1. What other Dark 1 things can be done here? Oh, I have an idea for one. Immovable stance. Dark 1, and it is a free action with a range of 3 that you use to target one person. Alright. Select self or any allied unit. Cast a force that roots their feet to the ground, preventing any attacks from displacing them for the next turn. And that way, it's a free action, so you can cast this right before doing something else. So let's take a moment and sort these and look at how many dark spells we have. So we have 4 dark 1s, 3 dark 2s. We almost have 10 dark spells. And let's give Blinding Haze like a range of like 4. Like 6. Yeah, like fuck it. I have a feeling I'll have to change a shit ton of the ranges. On immovable stance. Select self. Here we go. Select any allied unit, including self. Here we go. What else can we do with Dark? Do we have enough attacking tools right now? Because how many attacking spells does Wind have? We have 1, 2 damaging skills, 3, 4. So we have 2 damaging skills, a ranged and a melee one. Let's see, and then Dark. How many damaging skills do we have? All targets with the that one deals damage. So that's a ranged one. It doesn't have a lot of attacking tools compared to air, but that's okay because air was more focused on dealing damage, whereas this is a lot of like utility skills. We can come back to Dark once the combat system's been like a little bit more fleshed out, but I definitely think that there's like a lot of good tools here. Blinding Haze, Heavy Feet, 0 gravity field, I mean, Dark is gonna have a lot of like dual elemental synergies that are crazy. We'll come back to Dark. We'll come back to Dark. At least for now, I'm just gonna do whatever is easiest, and right now I'm having a little bit of writer's block with these guys. Maybe we should have a, like a melee Dark skill, though. Let's make it like Dark 3. And it'll just be like fucking crumple them up if you touch them. Oh, yeah. Because it's kind of like a black hole. Let's say, what would I call it? Doesn't matter, but let's have it use a full turn with a range of 1. And let's make it a half turn, because if it was a full turn, we'd have to give it like stupid fucking damage. 1 by 1. Alright, select an adjacent target. Just fucking crush them. Lay a palm on an adjacent target, channeling overwhelming gravitational force directly into their body. Target must make a saving throw. Shikamaru-style dark movement mimicry. Ooh, like fucking like shadows. Yeah. That could be cool. Like trapping someone with shadows. I think in order to have someone actually be physically grabbed by the darkness with anything other than like actual gravitation, we would probably need to get like a second element in there. So that would probably be like Dark 2, Earth 1 as like a cost. Or fucking something like that. And if that's dumb, then I'll just change the value. Lay a palm on an adjacent target, channeling overwhelming gravitational force into their body. Target must roll in the direction targeted plus power. With a difficulty of value. Well, actually, I haven't really specified how, like, saving throws work yet. If failed, take value damage. If succeeded, take value damage. I'll come back to that one once a lot of these I'll come back to because I want to, like, I want to, like, really figure out how rolling to hit and rolling to, like, save and avoid will work. I have, like, a loose idea. But a loose idea and a solid idea are two very different things, aren't they, huh? Aren't they? Let's see. Let's move on to, well, what element do I want to work on right now? Could do light. Pure healing, pretty much. Ranged attacks, mostly single target. Do we have like AoE multi-target stuff a lot? Yeah. Yep, okay. Let's do some light spells. Light 2 as a half action with a range of 5 and 1 target. Select an ally. Cure all basic status effects. And then later I will just make a list of, hey, these ones are basic. Or just all, like, okay, basic status effects would be anything in, like, bold here. Like prone or with soaked with water. But it would not get rid of, like, blinding haze or shit like that. And I'll just fucking tighten up the language later. Light 3 as a full action. Range, self. And let's make it a 3x3 square. Heal all targets within range by value. The only things you can suggest are anime-based. Fucking go for it. Like, anime has always had a big influence on me. I fucking love that shit. Burning Ray will be a light 1, half action. Most things will be half actions. Most things. It's the really crazy ones that are full actions or full strikes. Range of 4. Shape 1x1. Select a target. Roll to hit from above. If successful, deal value damage. If failed, it'll probably deal about, like, half that. Because a burning ray of light, you can only dodge so hard. Light-based DBZ solar flare for a blind debuff? Yeah. Blinding flare has a 182 chance to fucking fail if they blink. That's so funny. Let's make that, like, light 2, because that's a pretty major debuff. And make it, like, a half action. Maybe curing all basic status effects should be a full action. Actually, no, because I like the idea of another party member dedicating, like, donating a light spell slot so you can perform this twice if necessary. I just realized I have not had this playlist on shuffle. I was like, huh, we got all the Terraria songs in a row. Isn't that crazy? All the Final Fantasy songs in a row. Who would have thunk? I forgore. What I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to take a super duper quick bathroom break. Don't go anywhere. But while I'm gone, consider checking out the fan art slideshow, because there's a shit ton of awesome pieces of art that people have made for me and for the channel, and it has links to every original artist. You can go support them. It's super duper poggers. I go pee-pee now. You know what I just realized? We didn't make any, like, you know how, like, voices carry can be used to whisper on the wind? Where's voices carry? There it is. Yeah, just to fucking, like, communicate. We should give Dark something like that. Let's give Light something like that. Light 1 as a free action. Guiding Light. Select a point or small object. This object will... Small inanimate object. Inanimate object. This object will now produce a source of light that illuminates hidden tiles, hidden spaces within 5 tiles of this object. There we go. And Jet can cast that on a bar of soap. It's gonna be perfect. Let's make it a range of 1. It has to be something near you. So you can basically just make a torch. Snuff light. That'll be a dark one. Dark 1. Free action. And let's give that one a range of, like, 5. In a 1x1 target, extinguishes a single source of light within range. A single non-living source of light. I want to name these spells. What are we going to call heal all targets around you? Presence of Grace. Select an ally, cure all basic status effects. Restore. No. Reorient. No. I don't know what to call the status cure. Remove ailments. Cool. Fuck it. Temporary name. I'll call it something cooler later. Lay a palm on an adjacent target, channeling overwhelming gravitational force directly into their party. Da, da, da. Crushing blow. Crushing contact. And let's sort again. Oh, so now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dark 1s. 1, 2, 3 dark 2s, and a dark 3. I'm happier with that. So we're closer to 10. I want 8 to 10 for each element. And a good amount of 1s, 2s, and 3s. Mostly 1s, but a 2 or 3. Let's do light 1, aid. Simple name. Mend. How about that? And that will be a half action. Let's make it a full action. You can just mend one person. Range, and we'll make it 3. And we'll make it 1 by 1. Heals a targeted allied unit by value. Only costs a half strike if used within melee range. I like that. Additional spell slots can be used to perform this spell multiple times in a single strike. Blinding Flare. And this one should probably be like a cone. So let's do 3-tile cone. How are you going to aim cones diagonally? I don't know. 1. Range of 1. It's right in front of you. 3-tile cone. Produces a blinding flare. All targets facing this direction all targets in the range of this cone will have will suffer a penalty to all accuracy rolls by value for the next value amount of turns. Fucking balance it later. I don't care. We'll get there when we get there, baby. Woo! What is this text planning? I have art. There's art. See? Boom. Little sketches. Boom. Bam. 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 I'm gonna make sure that this thing's like pretty chock full of images before I send out any like public releases though. Because I can just make it later. To me, the most important thing is gameplay. Art I can do at my own pace, but when it comes to gameplay, I need it in people's hands for people to test it and for me to be able to balance it, which is my main specialty. Oh, is a quote a bit ago? Someone said graphics were finished first? Oh, Lamau. Okay, yeah, they're dumb. They're wrong. Maybe they are if you do things in the fucking wrong order. Stupid ass, fucking goofy ass. Nah. Presence of Grace is going to be like a very major deal. What else can be like a light spell? Light one. Select a target. Roll to hit from above. So that's a single target ranged. We can probably just shrink these columns. Boop. There we go. Okay. Sword. And how bad they look? Oh yeah. Fucking, it's just a bunch of capsules running around. So we have a single target. I don't want to give very much AoE damaging to Light, but we'll give Light an AoE damaging tool. So let's make that one a little bit expensive. Let's make it Light. Let's cost 2 spell slots. Yeah, it's definitely a thing that you start early on. And let's call this one, because it's just gonna be like Burning Ray larger. Make it a range of like 4, and make the shape like a 2x2 square. It's not huge. Could do a plus shape. Plus shape. How do you communicate the size of a plus though, you know? Like a 3x3 plus. So it ignores the diagonals. I'll just have documentation explaining that. But like fuck it, yeah, let's have like a plus shape. And what are we gonna call this? I'll just do a fucking damage. All targets within the range of this spell orthogonally collected. Yeah, I'm not dropping that term on players. They're not gonna know that. All targets within the range of the spell. Let's see. Roll to attack from above against all targets within the range of this spell. If failed, unit takes... Targeted unit takes value damage. If successful, target unit takes value damage. Let's call it like clear skies or fucking some shit. And make it a full cast. If you're gonna do AoE damage as Light, it's gonna cost you like some serious turnage here. So we're up to how many light spells? 7? That's fine. Let's get like a buff in here. Well, what kind of buffs could Light work with? Lots of ranged attacks? Oh, my B. Oh, my B. Hold up. Okay. HP regen. Oh, that's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea. Yeah, let's call it, Nature's Blessing or some shit like that. Sky's Blessing. And we'll make it a light 2-1. And make it cost a half strike. And the range will be 5. A 1x1 target. Select an ally within range to target. Ally will regenerate health, gaining value health per turn for value turns. Or perhaps, like, until they take dark damage or fucking some shit. I don't know. Light damage. Burning right if deal value. Light damage if failed. Deal value, light damage. I gotta specify the damage type. Crushing contact. Take value true damage. One, two, three, four, five, 6, 7, 8. We're up to 8 light spells. Most of them are a little expensive, though. Because we have Mend, we have Guiding Light, we have Burning Ray. What other things can we do? Because right now, air is kind of fucking nutty. Remove ailment. Select an ally. Cure all basic status effects. Costs 1 less spell slot if used in melee range. There we go. Let's see. What other things can we do here? Crystal residue. That's a thing. Is after, like, light magic deteriorates, it leaves, like, a crystal residue. So we could do crystal spikes and make that light one. And make it a half action. Give it a range of 10. 1x1. Select a tile on the floor. Or the edge of a wall to fill with light magic, to fill with decaying light that leaves a jagged crystal residue, creating a wall of spikes. Targets forced onto this tile will take value piercing damage. Hello, Pluto. How are you? Mwah. Big kissy. Big kissy. You're playing video game? What? Oh my god. What video game are you playing? I hope you're having a lot of fun. Vortex, let's give it a range of like 4. Some shit like that. Like, whatever. I'll figure it out. I'll probably change a lot of these off stream and actually, like, sit down and do some nitty-gritty numbers deciding. But once we have the mono elemental spell list and the actual rules of combat and character creation out, the first version of this is probably going to be ready. Which I would like to get out this month. I think that is the goal I'm aiming for, is I'd like to get it out this month. You're playing Overwatch 2 and you're bad at it, but positive association is a powerful drug. Invisalign check.
Bruh.
That shit is in! Oh my god. And now I gotta fucking drink water. Cool. A big sippin'. Thank you, Lime. Presence of grace. Posture check? I just actually swapped the chair I use when streaming, so I'm sitting good and proper. I promise. It is happening. You know what? Let's stand upright. There we go. Get some hands in here. Woo! Woo! Because what? I mean, down here, whatever. You know. Let's get up here. It's not like I'm blocking anything super important. Let's see. What other light skills can we have? Guiding light, free, full, half. Do we want maybe like another free action? Air 2, free action. Mend, full. Gives a specified da-da-da. We're up to 9 light spells, honestly. Like, I know there's not a lot of light ones right now, but these are pretty fucking powerful healing tools. Okay. What are we gonna do now? What element? Earth? Water? Fire? Raid or rot. Those ones are fun. Here we go. Poisoning. Rot 1. And this will take a full. Range of 3. And shape will be 1 by 1. Select a target to inflict with poison. Target will take 1 damage until cured. Oh, wait, per turn. Per turn until cured. Manually cured. Additional spell slots can be used to inflict Poison 2 or Poison 3, which deal 2 and 3 damage per turn, respectively. Oh my god, another fucking raid! What the fuck? Holy shit, nut. Thank you so much for the raid. I hope you had a fantastic stream playing Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver. How the heck was that? And welcome on in, everyone. Hello, I gotta crouch down. I'm standing up nice and tall. Taller than usual. To those of you who are new here, hello. My name is Rocco. I'm a silly, wacky armadillo creature. And I'm also a game dev, which is what I'm doing right now. I'm making a spell list for a tabletop game that I'm creating from scratch called Urchin's Fall. And you guys are more than welcome to weigh on in. If you have any questions, please don't be afraid to ask. I'm super happy to talk about this game. Once it's ready, hopefully within the month, I'll be able to get a build out for people to play test with. That is A-okay. Hold on, let me type to you. But while I do that, let's party. Fucked up. Fucked up. I had a lot of fun editing that video. Oh my god, there's been so many raids today. I'm gonna have to edit like a second one for days like this. This is the most I've had to play it in a single stream. It's crazy. Unassuming presence. But yeah, I guess we're doing rot magic now, which is kind of like the poison element. So I'm just making like a spell list for that, and I have the design philosophy here of rot magic will focus on status infliction, damage over time, as well as some healing tools and debuffs. So, poisoning, antidote, rot 1. This will cost a half action, range of 3, 1 by 1. Select an allied target to remove poison from. Additional spell slots must be consumed to remove poison 2 or poison 3. There we go. Yeah, so these guys are like very status effect focused. And let's do coat weapon. And let's make that rot 1 and make it a half action. Do I want this to be a full action? Let's make it a half action. And maybe it'll probably be overpowered. Probably. Self. Invalid. What's the party size plan? I will be designing this around 4 players, just because 4 is a very standard, easy number of people to get together. But I'm fine. I want this to be a game that is fun at various sizes, because there's so many different play styles based on the combination of class and race and element, and then whether you go mono element or dual element, like what spells are at your disposal. And especially the dual element ones will have very unique effects that I want to like carve out a very specific niche. And I'll kind of see if that's the plan. Coats the user's weapon in poison. The next weapon strike performed by this unit will inflict poison. Additional spell slots can be consumed to inflict poison 2 or poison 3. Coats the user's weapon or a part of their body in poison. There we go. Lots of poisoning. So we've got some rot 1. Let's do a rot 2, like inflict wounds. So decaying flesh, let's call it. And let's make this one a full action. It's just gonna be like single target painful melee shit. What do we want to do? How do I want to word this? Select an enemy unit to, or let's see, roll against an enemy unit guard in the direction they are facing. So this one will be forward or back based on where you're standing. If successful, deal value damage. If unsuccessful, deal value damage. Let's do deal value damage and inflict poison 1. I'll specify. Poison 1. Poison 1. There we go. Let's give it like a free action, Wither, and that'll cost 1 spell slot and have a range of, let's say, just 1. 1 by 1. Select a nearby non-combatant. Such as a piece of terrain, like a tree or wooden gate. This material will rot and decay, becoming possible to travel through. Organic non-combatants, such as a piece of terrain like a tree or wooden gate. This material will rot and decay, becoming impossible to travel through. Wield as a weapon, or otherwise use. So you can disarm someone who's using, like, wooden weapons with that. If targeting a piece of enemy equipment, the enemy must succeed in a direction. Saving throw or freaking something. I'll figure out how the saving throws work exactly. But there we go. So that one's a free action. What else can we do with Rot? It's like a fun Rot 3. What else is in this? Status infliction, damage over time, healing, and debuffs. Some healing. Let's do that. Let's do painkiller gas. And make that like Rot 3, 3x3, and make it like healing. 3x3 square. Let's make it like a 5x5 square that does like minor healing. That might be a little too big, actually. Let's just do 3x3. 3x3 square self, and make it a full action. All units within the range of this spell receive value of their HP restored. There we go. So like 1 AoE healing tool, and then let's give it a like single target healing tool, and maybe let's make that like Rot 2. Rot 2, and it will be I have another idea for Rot 2. Actually, Raid would be that one. So Rot 2, and this one will be single target healing. What the hell is it going to be? Let's do antibiotic ointment. Actually, let's make that a Rot 1. Half, and then range of 1. 1x1. Select self or... Hi, Jet. Select allied unit, including self, to apply antibiotic ointment to. This will protect from all levels of poison for the rest of the fight until removed by a incoming water damage. Jet, do you want me to go over the spell list with you? We have a few things. we have a few things. Just a couple. Maybe. Maybe a little bit. So, okay. So I'll go through them. So air, we'll go through the air ones. First, you have Flash Step, which is a free action you can perform in the melee range of a target to use the skill to teleport to the other side of them regardless of their size. And you can... Hello, Werfa! I'm going through the spell list now, so you're about to get all fucking caught up on what's going on. Caster can select which direction to face after performing. So this is a personal mobility tool. Whirlwind is an allied mobility tool, so you select a unit to target and rotate that unit 90 degrees in either direction, and you can spend an additional spell slot to rotate them another 90 degrees. Let's do select an allied unit to target. Additionally, another extra spell slot can be consumed to rotate an enemy. There we go. Wind Cutter is just like a single target melee wind slash. Select a unit to target, roll to attack against the face direction. On hit, deal however much wind or weapon damage. Can be used as a free strike if performed after a weapon strike. That one's for the fucking rush downs. Wind Jet. Select a unit to target, roll to attack against the face direction. It's just simple ranged attack. Updraft. High range, little support skill to remove prone or soaked. Voices Carry is kind of like a free action, kind of cantrip-esque, of you can carry a sound across the wind up to 10 tiles to an unlimited amount of targets. Fleetfoot extends movement. Extend casters movement by 3 tiles for 1 turn. Hurricane Palm is smack someone with a fucking palm of wind and knock them back. So you target an enemy. If they fail this saving throw, they take a bunch of damage. If they fail, whether they fail or not, this does big knockback. And then there's Vortex, which is like the one AoE tool that Wind will get. And it just is Wind, that's it. Trade Winds is the most expensive. Just kidding. No, there's 2 most expensives because we have 2 air 3s. But you select an ally to protect with a barrier of wind, and any incoming ranged attacks to this target will take a -5 penalty when rolling to confirm a hit for the next 3 turns. That's probably stupid overpowered, and I'll have to change it. I'm okay with that. I'm fine with that. For dark spells, we have Heavy Feet, which is to select an enemy unit to cast a gravitational spell on, to reduce their movement range by 1 for the next turn. 0 gravity field to pretty much make them weightless and unable to move if they fail this throw. Pulse Sphere is just a simple ranged damage. Immovable Stance is to lock yourself in place with gravity so you can't get fucked around. Snuff Light removes a source of light. Gravity Well. Oh my god, I forgot to specify. Regardless of outcome, target is pulled towards the center of the square. That is a position manipulation one. Vacuum Pull is basically, fuck you, I grab you. So you select any target within 5 tiles, friend or foe, and use a focused gravitational force to pull them right next to you. It doesn't do anything else, but if there's any walls or units that are in this path, they will take X amount of blunt or dark damage along the way. Blinding Haze is like AoE accuracy debuff, and then Crushing Contact is like hard melee true damage. I should probably give it more AoE tools to match the design philosophy, because right now I think it has more melees than AoEs, but that's fine. Light, we've got Burning Ray, it's single target. Guiding Light, which is turn something inanimate into a source of light. I expect you'll use that on like a piece of soap or something. Mend is just a simple heal, although it costs half the turn that it does, because if you do it from a distance, it costs a full turn, and if you do it in melee, it's a half turn. But additional spell slots can be used, I'm going to increase the range, actually, to perform the spell multiple times in a single strike. Crystal Spikes. You select a tile on the floor or the edge of a wall to fill with decaying light that leaves a jagged crystal residue, creating a wall of spikes. Targets forced onto this tile will take X amount of piercing damage. When are we getting Makarakarn to fucking reflect shit? That would probably be like a Ringmaster skill. Remove Ailment. It's Esuna. It costs 2. Costs 1 less if used in melee range, spell slots wise. Blinding Flare is just a cone that does an accuracy penalty. Clear Skies is like a plus-shaped AoE. Sky's Blessing is regen. And then Presence of Grace is AoE strong healing around self. And now we're working on figuring out what spells Rot will have. And these are not the final spells, I will mention. These spells are all subject to change, maybe get removed, maybe more will be added. I'm not worrying about dual elemental spells yet. Fuck that. Fuck that. That sucks. I don't want to do that right now. Why did I get rid of that? But yeah, so Rot focuses on its kit revolving around poisoning. So you select a target to inflict with Poison 1, and this target will take 1 damage per turn forever until manually cured by antidote or some other status-removing effect. You can spend additional spell slots to inflict Poison 2 or Poison 3, which will deal 2 and 3 damage per turn, respectively. Then there's Antidote, which is the inverse of select an allied target to remove Poison 1 from. Additional spells must be consumed to remove Poison 2 or Poison 3. Dope. Awesome. Coat Weapon is a half action to coat the user's weapon or a part of their body in poison. So this makes it so the next weapon strike performed by this unit inflicts poison. And you can spend additional spell slots. So you could potentially do this like at range or something like that. There's Wither, which is a free action to select a nearby non-organic combatant, such as a piece of terrain like a tree or wooden gate, and this material will rot and decay to become possible to travel through, wield as a weapon, or otherwise use in any meaningful capacity. If targeting a piece of enemy equipment, something, saving throw. something. We'll figure it out. Antibiotic Ointment will protect from any incoming poison until removed by water damage. Decaying Flesh deals damage and inflicts poison 1 if successful, and if unsuccessful, just deals damage anyways. And then Painkiller Gas is an AoE heal that is not going to be as powerful as the light Presence of Grace one, but like shit, if you just get healing tools still. So that's what we're working with now. I'm gonna finish up what is on Rot's kit, and I'll give you all a second to think about it. I have to piss like a racehorse. I'll be back in a second. Do not go anywhere. I'm back. Hello. Hello. Any Makara Karn spell would probably cost a shit ton of spell slots. The most that any spell will ever demand at once is 3. On higher levels, players can store up to 5, but I'm not gonna have spells that consume 3. Or at least maybe I'll just have spells where you can consume more. I don't fucking know. I don't know. What else with rot magic? Let's give it like 1 AoE. Poison, gas. And this will be rot 3. It's going to be hard to deploy. 3x3 square. And this will be probably a full action. Nope, and we'll give it a range of like 5. Select. Here we go. All units within. Whoa, you need these. All units within the range of this spell are inflicted with poison 1. Let's make it a half action. Expensive, but doesn't take up your whole turn. Thank you, Urfa. I hope you get lots of awesome fucking rest. And I'm sending you all of the energy to do balancing for yourself tomorrow. I think you're gonna do fucking great. So we're up to how many rot spells? Cool. And let's do, you know what? Fuck it, we're doing some dual elemental fells. Spuck it, Cursed Mire. So this will take Water 1, Rot 1. Hello, Kyoden! How the fuck are you? I'm, as you can see, making a list of spells. For the game I'm working on. Fuck it! Let's have a little fun and get some dual element shit out there. So, this will take a half turn with a range of, let's say, fucking like 5, whatever. 3x3 square. Places a hazardous field on the stage. In a 3x3 area. Any units that pass through this field will be inflicted with... Whoa, what is that? No, I don't want to print. Get the fuck out of here. Will be inflicted with... hello? Poison 1. And have their movement speed reduced by 1. Any units... Let's do traveling through this field. Moving through this field will be inflicted with poison 1 and have their movement speed reduced by 1. That is not occupied by a hostile unit. Any units moving through this field, excluding the caster, there we go. That's fun. That's a fun dual element one. So like this is what I mean, is like that there as a tool probably has some additional effects. An extra spell slot of each element can be consumed to increase this field to 5x5. And let's increase the range to like 7. Like 10. Whatever. You can fucking place it wherever. Cursed Mire. So now if we sort by element, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 air spells. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Dark spells 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Light spells 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Rot spells and a dual elemental rot spell. Playing Minecraft with a friend, sailed the 7 seas, went into some crazy caves, found some decent loot. Let's fucking go. I've been thinking about playing Minecraft on the channel recently. A lot of my friends have been really into Minecraft recently. And I don't know if I can get into, like, vanilla Minecraft, in all honesty. I haven't played it since middle school, but I feel like if I modded it, I might be into it. Just, like, give it some, like, I don't know, like JRPG elements or something. Do we want to do, like, one more rot spell? I feel like right now, rot has a good amount of tools. Decaying flesh. We don't have any, like, rot 1 damage spells, do we? I'm fine leaving rot alone for now. Yeah, I'll just, like, add more in Discord later tonight. Because I'm gonna have to end soon because dinner's gonna be ready. And then after that, I'll meet you guys in the Discord to do some more work on this. Boop. I'm gonna link the Discord for those of you who might not be a member. Get your butts in there. It's literally, like, cool there or whatever. It's based or something. I don't know. Sobbing. Crying. What do I want to do now? Fire and water are pretty straightforward. Let's do warming glow, and that will be fire 1, and it will be a full action with a range of 1. So you can target an adjacent ally with it. 1 by 1. And select an adjacent ally to apply a warming glow to. Restores value, health, and removes soaked status effect. There we go. Fire 1. Let's do, just like a fireball. Fuck it, we ball. Fireball, and that will be a half action with a range of like 5. Fuck it, whatever. Shape, 1 by 1. Select a target within range to fling a fireball at. Roll to hit directionally. If successful, target takes value damage. Nothing if you don't succeed. And then perhaps let's do like a... And I'm in. Welcome on into the Discord. Fire 3. Let's make like a big fucking AoE. Like a really nasty one. And this will be... I don't know what to call it, but we'll make it a full action. We'll give it a range of 5, make it a 2x2 square, and have it deal heavy damage. All targets within... All units within target... Within This spell's effect must roll saving throw directional something or other. Something or other. Boop, period. Because it is becoming apparent that I haven't figured out how saving throws work. I'll figure it out. I swear. I swear! I swear! I'll figure it out! And this one will do heavy damage. So, all units within the range of this spell are lit ablaze from beneath. And must succeed on a... What was, like, the old terminology? On a below plus... power throw or some shit like that. Oh, fucking... I'll change it later. Whatever. If failed, take value damage. If successful, take value damage. We could do something similar with Cursed Mire with fire also. I'm gonna be honest. After like 2 hours of non-stop staring at this spreadsheet, I want to swap to something else. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at the table of contents. Geography and cosmology would fall under the world. Creatures and cultures, world history, external resources. Yeah, okay, whatever. Chapter 8. How to play, and I'll fucking put that at the beginning later. Hello! How are you, Skeptical Kekleon? I am doing game dev shit. Boop. Things we made is for art, cooking, memes, music. As long as you made it, I don't give a shit. If it's like blatant self-promotion, like I'm about to stream, keep it in the self-promo channel. The dev is going good. I've put together a bit of a spell list. We have 40 spells that have been made during this stream, which when putting it like that is a pretty fucking good amount. But I want to get probably another 40 to 60 out. And then it'll probably be ready for, like, playtesting. So I'm aiming to get a playable version build. Can I call it that? Can I call it a build, even though it's tabletop, right? Can I call it that? For the rest of the month. Did Zach or Matt ever tell me about the legend of the horse element? No? What is horse element? Hold on. Okay, this spell costs, horse 5. Create horse. Creates a horse. Bam, bam. Creates a horse. Ready? Create Pegasus is horse 5, air 1. Oh yeah, baby. Yeah, if it's like fully, if you put the work in and like edited that shit, fucking go for it. If someone really took the time, then like, yeah. One earth spell could summon horses. That's incredible. Horse element. The design philosophy I'm going with the Earth playstyle is mostly single target attacks, debuffs, and strong support synergy. It's gonna have some like position manipulation skills also. I punch you, and it creates horses. That's like a fucking JoJo stand. I'm gonna get rid of these joke spells. Creates a horse. Be gone. Get the fuck out of here. Fire spells. I'm like running out of steam, and dinner will be soon. But I'll format this. So how to play. You got something stirring up right now? I look forward to it. What the fuck is up, League? How the fuck are you? How to play. What are the things that you need to know when you play? First and foremost, creating a character. Cool. Combat. Non-combat skills. I'll fucking get to that later. I'll get to it later. Woo! But now if I update my silly wacky table of contents, oh my god, it's right there. It's so sexy. You're doing good. Let's fucking go. Woo! I develop games. Yes. Yes. I have worked on several released games, mostly indie, one AAA. And I am woefully unemployed. I'm looking for a job. So if you know anyone who could use this and is willing to pay me a living wage, please let me or them know. But basically, Urchin's Fall is my next big portfolio piece, so I am going to release this for free. And I'm going to live stream the development of it. I think that that is a thing that employers will find valuable and desirable. And, you know, fingers crossed, this could get me a job. So I'm going to go ham on it. But yes, yeah. So my main thing with video games is I can do a lot of like the design things, but my main specialty generally comes down to systems and mechanics, which in English means that I write generally like the rules for the game or how things interact. And I'm very focused on the gameplay outcomes and the player experience and how those things augment that. So I do a lot of balancing and like game mode shit, which is why a tabletop RPG lends itself very well to me and my strengths of making rules and balancing things. What I wouldn't give to work on a JRPG. Oh, is there any advice that I could give you to make those projects of yours sparkle? I'm 23 and unemployed. No, there is not. I can do my best, though. I mean, the main thing is that game development is an iterative process, right? It is a thing that we go back and constantly reevaluate and change as we go through it. So it's very important to play as you develop and get people to play as you develop. There's nothing more valuable than actually having people fucking playing and testing your game and getting you feedback on it so you can address what works and what doesn't. Because if your game is fun, even if it didn't do what you wanted it to do, if people are having fun and enjoying it, then I think you've succeeded in making something cool. When it comes to actual balancing, there's this technique, I forget what it's called. I think it's called like tripling up, which is a stupid name because it relies on doubling things. But it's basically, let's say you have a value, right? Damage value. It does 10 damage, and you know for a fact, right, that it's not doing enough damage. So this idea of tripling up is you want it to be higher, so start by doubling it. And if that's too low, double it again until it's too much. And then go to the halfway point in between. And then just keep going into the halfway point in between until you find the number where it does the thing you want it to do. When you have enough testing and you have enough analytics, right, and enough player feedback, or you can see what's going on behind the scenes, you can gather a lot of useful information and data. So you can say, let's say, you know, players use this 20% of the time, or something like that, right? And you can say as a designer, I want players to use this 30% of the time. This is going to be a good way to frame how you want to balance things, is say how often you want this thing to be used, right? And figure out what adjustments you need to make to get it to that point. So when I was working in AAA, I had so many numbers to work with that, you know, that process was not a huge problem, in all honesty. It was pretty easy. I just had the numbers there. But in the case of an indie developer, those are things that you are going to have to manually collect, either via having the game like output some sort of text file based on how someone played and then sending it to you, or just having a really good QA survey and really pinpointing exactly what information you want from your players. I suppose, though, those are my main suggestions for a design standpoint. Or Little Blaze from underneath. I don't feel like naming that spell. Oh shit, I got a message. Food is ready. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I'm too hungry to continue. I am a hungry ass motherfucker. I am hrungy. So I'm gonna find someone for us to raid, and I am going to go have dinner. Once again, I will most likely be continuing the development in the Discord later tonight. I'll probably be going over the spell slots, and I'll be doing the uninteresting things, like specifying exactly how, you know, spell slots and saving throws work, just so you guys have like access to all that. Before we go, though, I would like to give a massive round of thank yous, first and foremost, to my wonderful team of moderators. Thank you guys for fucking keeping this shit running and taking care of me and keeping us out of harm's way. I would also like to thank every single person who tuned in today, whether you rated or just followed today, or you're a longtime viewer, whether you were chatting actively or had a tab open in the background. Fucking thank you for being here and taking the time out of your day. The fact that out of all the motherfuckers on the internet, you chose to spend your evening with me means the world, always does, and always fucking will. Now, with that being said, I actually haven't decided who I want to raid right now. Who do I want to raid right now? Big thonking. There's so many people streaming. Why do I have to be so indecisive? Let's raid Minerva. She has been super duper nice, and I have enjoyed chatting about Final Fantasy XIV with her a shit ton. The raid message is going to be Game Dev Dillo raid. And then pop some motherfucking boogies out for me. Like that. Game Dev Dillo raid. Bam. Use the emotes if you got them. And if you don't, what the fuck are you even doing? Nah, I'm kidding. But yeah, there's the raid message. Bada bing, bada boom. Thank you once again, one and all. The next stream is gonna be... Give me a sec to check my schedule. Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. We're gonna be doing some Elden Ring. And then on Friday, I'm doing whatever the fuck I want. I don't know. There might be some additional unscheduled streams throughout the week. Keep your eyes peeled on my Twitter and my Discord if you don't want to miss those, because odds are I'm not gonna take the week sitting down and not working on Urchin's Fall. Like, come on, what the fuck? Fuck that. So I will plug one last time all of my socials. There's a big old link to everything. But enough about me. Let's get this show on the road. I hope you all have a fantastic fucking night. Bada bing. Bada bam. Keep your eyes to the ground. And we will meet again, my friends. Peace out.